Hey everyone, Jesse here. Wanted to do an update on the aquaponics system. Got a lot of things going on. You can see all the cucumbers. Had to make some trellises so that the cucumbers actually had somewhere to go. Overall, they're still growing really well. It hasn't rained here in Houston for a very long time. Last June, I think it rained every day. So a couple things that I've noticed with these cucumbers, you can see the leaves are brown. I think that's like a bacterial kind of um, thing going on. The leaves deteriorate. Overall, I mean, there's still a ton of flowers and cucumbers are still growing. We've probably got about 10 cucumbers or so far. It looks like I have double that are currently growing. So it's working out pretty well. I think this leaf issue is caused by moisture, or maybe too much nitrogen or something like that. I did a foliar feed, so it's just spraying some diluted, I think it's called Garrett juice, on the leaves, and it's supposed to, give them nutrients and everything. Maybe that was a problem. I don't know. Maybe there's too much stuff. Maybe there's too many cucumber leaves in a concentrated area. So in any event, these guys are trellising wherever they want to. And you can just see everything that's going on. So still working really well. They just don't look that great. I re-added another section, another stock tank. These are 100-gallon stock tanks. You can get them at Tractor Supply. They generally last forever. This one I moved multiple times, and I think during one of those moves I cracked a piece, and I went through JB Weld. I did some silicone. Nothing could keep it sealed. So I mean, there's 800 pounds of water, so I think that's the calculation. So I don't know if you could fix it that way or not. Maybe there's a plastic welder or something that would have fixed it. In any event, I bought a $30 pond liner, stuck it in there, and voila, it holds water. The tanks are connected by these PVC pipes. And you can see there's basically a 90-degree angle going that way on each side. And that basically prevents any bubbles from going up from the bottom. So if you had an air pump or anything, bubbles are going to rise, and so that prevents any bubbles from going in there. So these are basically a water siphon. They are full of water. There's no air in there. And if one side gets higher, then it'll automatically siphon water to the lower side. So in essence, this is a separate 100-gallon stock tank, but they're connected, so it's 200 gallons. The reason being is that I probably needed to fill this side with water every day. The cucumbers and plants took up a lot of water. I have fish on this side, and I really didn't want them to have the water level too low. Maybe I forgot or something, so this just kind of gives it some redundancy. The water can cycle back and forth. So I'm outside of Houston, so there are mosquitoes. We put some little minnows on this side, so if there are any mosquitoes laying eggs in there, the little minnows, and I don't know if we can actually see them when they go past this pipe, but they will eat the mosquitoes. I also put in a BT dunk, which is a natural, I think it's a bacteria that will kill mosquitoes as well. So plant wise, in the water, and you can see that these are cinder blocks. Kind of see that. So this is just a cinder block stack to kind of give some areas for fish to hide in below that, so they're open. And then this pot is just filled with lava rock, and there's sweet potato growing in that. The plants never look great when they're growing in the water. You can see the leaves, and I don't know if that's from my foliar spray that maybe it just didn't do very well. New growth looks good. Old growth doesn't look that great. These plants look a little yellow and whatnot. On this side, we have floating rafts to propagate plants. We have a couple varieties of sweet potato. So one of the big things this year, this is the sweet potato that I've been growing previously. You grab a sweet potato from the grocery store, or an organic one. you can put a little piece of it in water and it's going to start shooting off slips, or it starts producing plants from the potato, which they call slips, and those slips will root very easily. So I had a couple new varieties of sweet potato, got from Whole Foods, and so just planted those in the ground and they started new shoots, and I wanted to get more of those plants, so voila, we put them in water. These guys could probably be potted up. You can see the difference in growth. So that thing back there is mint. We just took a cutting from somewhere we found. I think this is a chocolate mint plant. I need to plant it, and then once it's planted in soil, it'll probably grow a little better. And then I'll start taking cuttings from that just to have a mint plant. Mint grows really well in these types of systems in the water. You can just see the difference between that and sweet potato, the roots, all that stuff. And we have one tiny mint plant that's not doing so great. But once we do cuttings of sweet potato, these things will wilt like crazy. Even the first day, I think it was 100 degrees, it got direct sun. I only keep a couple leaves on there. They'll wilt, but they'll come back. So you might think, wow, I just killed a bunch of cuttings, but that did not happen. So overall, the system, trying to cover the water as much as possible, growing new plants as I see fit. We have catfish and everything in there. The one thing that I want to make sure is, you could probably see that white pipe in there. I'm just turning it. There's holes at the bottom of that, and that sets the water level in there. So since these plants are so huge, I'm turning that pipe to prevent it from being clogged by roots. So it rips the roots up, and then hopefully they go down the pipe. But want to make sure that it doesn't overflow in any way. If you have questions, let me know in the comments and I will answer those as I see. But thanks for watching, and I'll do videos later on.